Hello everyone and welcome you all to another chapter of the DaVinci Resolve Essential tutorial. Okay, so now we are on our chapter number 3 and here we'll be working with the edit page. Okay, so here in this particular class I'll be telling you guys about the edit page, what all we'll be doing on with the edit page. Okay, so in last class I have just give you guys a brief idea about all the pages available. Okay, so in this particular class we'll be learning all of these things. Okay, so let's not waste time and let's get started on working with the edit page in DaVinci Resolve. So here again, I am back at my DaVinci Resolve workspace. Okay, as you guys can see here on my screen, right now I am in the media page. Okay, so from where you guys will be able to import your medias. Okay, so now let's look about the edit page in which we are going to work on with. Okay, so I hope you guys have understood the usage of the media page from my last class. Okay, and also here I do have the cut page. Okay, so you guys also know the usage of this cut page over here. So from here I will just delete the timeline, okay, which I had created before. Okay, so I have this from here. Basically you guys will be able to trim down your video before you put it in the editing panel. Okay, but the same work you guys will be able to do from the edit panel in detail. Okay, so now back again at the edit page, okay, where we'll be spending most of our time once we work here in the DaVinci Resolve. Okay, so from here, as I have already told you that from here I do have my source panel, preview window, and this is the timeline. Okay, so first let me try to get or make me try to understand you guys that what is the use of this panel over here. Okay, so this is the source window. So if I just double click any clip over here, what I'll be able to do is how it actually works is from here I will, once I click from my media pool any footage, okay, if I double click it will be viewed here in my source panel. So from the source panel, what will happen is if I just move this key around, I will be able to actually see a preview. Okay, so from here, basically, if I want to mark in and mark out, we'll be learning about this thing. So from here, basically, we can just crop the things out or the part which I want to use for my video. I can just use it from here. Okay. So first it will just come here, and after that, once this that particular part is done, suppose I do have a video of 1 hour, okay, but from that 1 hour I just want to use somewhat like 2 minutes. Okay, so from this source panel what I can do is I can just cut that particular part up and I can just take that particular media. So let me just show you guys an example. So here, as you guys can see, I can actually go to source. Okay, offline we will talk about all of this here as well. Okay, but let's try to understand the basic of the editing page is here, that this is the source panel. From the source panel it will go to the timeline, and the timeline is directly proportional to the preview panel. Okay, whatever I'll do, wherever I'll take my playhead, it will show here in my preview panel, which will just give me the outcome. Okay, so right now I will come here and I will just play this thing up. I will just mark a in point. Okay. So from here, I will bring this somewhere over here. And from here, I will just bring a in point. And now let me just play this thing and I will mark a out point over here. Okay. So here you guys can actually see I have just marked this thing out over here. And now what I want to do is if I just want to import only the video, okay, so I can just bring only the video. But if I want to take the audio and the video, both of this, then I can just bring here. And as you guys can see, I do have my audio and the video both present over here. So in that case, what I'll do is I will come here. As you guys can see down here in my source panel, I do have this option where I will be able to take only the video. So I will just click here, and now you guys can see only my video here in this particular place is being selected. Okay, so now I will just decrease the size of this audio panel over here. Okay, so I will just decrease the size, and for the video panel as well, what I'll do is I will just bring this thing down. Okay, so this is about that. And now if I just want to zoom in here in my timeline, Control plus, here you guys can see I can just zoom this thing out. So this is the media pool. And here there are a few of the places. Okay, so if I just wanna take my timeline up, okay, or if I just wanna get this one in a proper view, I will be able to do that. Okay, so I hope you guys have just got a basic idea till now. What is the use of the source panel? Okay, so now from here, basically, if I just want to go to the first frame, I can come here. Okay, so this is the first frame, and if I want to go to the last frame, I can just click here and I will just directly go to the last frame over here. Okay, so there are a few of the options. Okay, so this one is for the source panel. Both of this looks quite familiar, but this have different settings. So this one is for the source panel, and this options which I have right around here, this one is basically for the preview panel. Okay, so this is for the final product over here. Okay, and now once I'm done, okay, if I just want to take this in loop, I can take this in loop. Okay, so I'll also tell you guys about the match frame option. Okay, suppose once I do have this particular thing here in my timeline. Okay, so now I will just bring this thing, and to this particular place, what I want to do is I want to do some editing. Okay, and I need to make sure that I do have my video already here in my timeline. Okay, so in this particular place, I have seen from my source panel that I want to work in this particular place, but I just need to come here and again match this frame or see okay where it basically was. So in that case, this will help me if I just come here and if I click on the match frame option, it will directly take me to the same frame where I do have my source panel over here. Okay, so it will just take me there, and you guys can see my playhead is also on top of that particular area. And now if I want to change anything, if I want to put some effects or anything as such, I can do it from here as well. Okay, so this is about that. And now if you think that, okay, this part is quite almost done, and what I want to do is I want to actually shrink this down and I want to make my timeline quite big. Okay, so I can just click here, okay, in the shrink option, and here you guys can see from here I have changed this particular place, and now this one is shrinked. Okay, now I can work properly. So from here again you guys can actually make this thing again the same. Okay, so I will just go to the shrink option, and now from here, if I want to just create a new bin, okay, so new bin is nothing else, it's just a new folder. Okay, so from here, I can just come here and I can just put the things around. Okay, so from here, again, I can just come back, and if I want to change the name, okay, I can just change the name. If I want to add folders to it, I can just add folders to this one over here, as you guys can see, just to make my timeline look good. Okay, so I can just I will just put the timeline. Okay, I will just keep this thing over here. Okay, and now if I just double click here, you guys can see now I can actually see what all footage do I have over here. Okay, so now if I want to put another footage, okay, in that case I can basically come here. Okay, and suppose what I want to do is this is an image, and I want to put this image on top over here. Okay, and now I will just shrink this image size down, and I want it to appear somewhat over here. Okay, so this will just kind of appear over here. And if you want to work with this one, if you just want to decrease the size, okay, we'll be learning about this one later in our class. Okay, so I will just bring this thing and I will just position this for now uh, to the to this particular side. Okay, so I can just bring this thing here on the right. Okay, arranging the x-axis, and here I am arranging the y-axis over here. So now here in my screen, if I want to work, I will also show you guys in detail, okay, how to do that. So I will come here. If I just want to work around, I will be able to work around with my timeline over here as well. Okay, so here you guys can see this is the starting frame. Again, I'll take this inspector down. So here, as you guys can see, I only have this one over here in this particular frame. Here you guys can see my image as well. Okay, so I hope you guys are understanding how you can actually work over here. Okay, so from here as well, okay, so I will be able to see the total duration of this particular video. Okay, so if I just play this thing around, you guys can see this one is something around of 3 seconds. Okay, so this video is something of about 3 seconds, as you guys can see, and I don't have any audio right now over here. I have showed you guys how you can actually create a bin, but if you want to go back to the master page, you guys can come here and select the whole timeline. Okay, and inside the timeline, you guys can work with these clips individually. If you want to work with this clip all together, you guys can select it and you guys can move it around or do things all together. Okay, so there is another option for that. And now let's come and see these options which are present over here. Okay, so this is the media pool. Okay, if you want to hide it, you guys can hide it from here as well. Okay, and this from here you guys will be able to import your media. Okay, so for now I will just hide this thing. If you want to add any effects, okay, suppose if I just double click over here and if I just hover around this effect, I can get an effect. Okay, so these are few of the titles. So as you guys can see the animation of how it will appear. Okay, we will learn about all of this in detail. Okay, we do have a separate class. Okay, so these are fusion titles. Okay, so from here, if you just want to see, okay, so there are video transition, audio transition, titles, generators, effects, open effects, different filters, audio effects, and all we do have it over here. Okay, so for now, I will just keep this thing like that. Okay, and now let's come to the index over here. So here you guys can see I do have my index, okay, which I can see from here. Okay, so from here you guys can see the video one consists of like the source in is 1.28 and the source out is 5.13. So that is the source in and out point, which we can actually track from here. And from here, if you want to lock any track or if you want to actually take any track and just mute these things, you guys will be able to do that from here. From here, you guys can check that if you have used any markers or not. Okay, and now let's see if you just come here in the sound library. If you want to download it, okay, DaVinci Resolve free sound library, you guys can come here and download, which will just redirect you to the Blackmagic page over here. Okay, so to show you guys, just I showed you guys how you can actually do that. And after that, if you want to quickly export anything, you guys can just quickly export over here. And as I have on the mixer, okay, as you guys can see, I will just off the sound library as well. Okay, if you do have enough space over here on the right bottom corner, you guys can actually get this mixer. If you do have an audio, in that case, you guys will be able to see here the audio. Okay, so the left side and the right side here as well. You can adjust this audio according to yourself. Okay, so now let's come and see here in the metadata. Okay, so from here you guys will be able to see, suppose if I just choose this one. Okay, so here you guys can see the starting time and the ending time over here. Okay, and from here how many frames it consists. Okay, so here you guys can get some data regarding this one. So this video is 50 frames per second. Okay, and the screen size is 2040 into 1080p. Okay, and the sounds is of 48,000 hertz over here. Okay, so this is about the metadata, and here this is the option of inspector. Okay, so from here we guys can actually zoom in, okay? If you are familiar with the any other video editing software, in that case you guys might know this thing as the scale up or scale down option. So this one here is kind of the same if you want to position it. Okay, so we'll be learning about all of that. And here is another option, the smart reframe. Okay, so this is an AI based thing. We will learn about that. If you want to crop things out, you guys will be able to crop this thing out here as well. The dynamic zoom, we will be learning about the composite mode, stabilization, lens recorrection, super scaling, retime, and scaling. Once we move on to some advanced features, we will learn about that. As I have not used any audio or any effects or transition images yet, okay, I don't have access to that. Okay, but here if I just select this particular frame, okay, suppose I will just select only this particular frame, I can work here on this particular frame over here as well. Okay, so if I just come here onto the file, we can just see the file type. Okay, from here, the frame rate, the resolution from here as well. Okay, so I'll just come here in the video option. Okay, so this was about the inspector panel. Okay, so now from here, once you are done with your source panel, okay, so I have already told you what is the main use of the source panel. Okay, so now if you want to get to a single screen view, you guys can come here and you guys can actually click on this one, and from here now you will be able to only view the preview panel. Now you don't have the source window anymore. Okay, but if you want to again go back to the same dual view mode, you guys can click here and now you're back again here in the dual view mode. Okay, and here you guys can see different options which we will be learning. Okay, show all video frames. If you want to see all the video frames right out here, you guys can click on that. Okay, I will just unmark this one, and right here you guys can also see, okay, here I do have the color, the fusion option, okay, the toggle bypass. So we'll be learning about all of that. So I hope you guys have understood this class on how you will work. Okay, so here let's come now down over here. Okay, so let's come down to this timeline. Here you guys can see the clip one, the audio one. Okay, so here if you want to mute that track down, or if you want to play that solo track, if you do have different audio, suppose you do have 4 or 5 audios in one place, in that place, if you just want to add only one audio from there, you can just directly come here and just click on solo. In that case, only that particular audio will be played and other things will be muted by itself. Okay, so from here as well, you guys will be able to change the audios. Okay, if you want to get the audios from here, you guys will be able to get the audios. If you want to zoom in your timeline, you guys can do it from here. Otherwise, I have already told you, from your keyboard, just click on Control minus to minimize the size of your timeline frame. Okay, otherwise you can just click on Control plus to just zoom in over here. Okay, because while doing the video editing, we just need to make sure that we work on frame to frame. Okay, sometimes we just need to make some. So here you guys can see, okay, so these are the video options. As I do have this image over here, I will just delete it for now. Okay, so I hope you guys have understood this far. Okay, so this is the tools which I am going to use while doing my video editing. I'll be telling you guys the usage in detail. Okay, and from here, okay, I can just timeline, or I can just sort my timeline. Okay, so as you guys know that whenever I try to put any video directly here, okay, in my timeline or from my source panel, automatically what it does, it just creates me a default timeline. Okay, so in that case, what I can also do is I can directly come here to the file. Okay, so from here I can actually create a new timeline. Okay, and from here, I can choose how many video tracks I want, how many audio tracks I want. Okay, in that case, it will just create me a new timeline over here. So for now, I'll just cancel this thing out. Okay, and as you guys can see, these points over here, okay, I can actually take those things and I can adjust this once I delete this thing from the frame. Okay, so if I just delete this one, I can just come here. Okay, select this point and I can just work on with these points over here. If I want to increase the size, okay, I can do that. Now I just want to take only the videos. Okay, so I will just take only the video over here. Okay, so this is another way of doing things. Now you guys can see the total size of this thing is 4.1 second, as you guys can see over here. Okay, and now here, if I just again come to my bin, and now from here, as you guys can see, I do have this particular audio. Okay, so what I can also do is I can just mark in and mark out the part for of what I want the audio. Okay, so from here, I can actually just mark in, and when I will just come somewhat over here, I can just mark this thing out. Okay. And I will just pause this thing right away. Okay. And once this thing is done, what I can do is I can drag and drop this particular thing over here. Okay. Now I will just come here to this frame. And what I'll do is I will just click on Control minus. Okay. And I will just trim this thing down according to the size of the video. Okay, so now what I'll do is I will just click on plus sign again, and here you guys can see now I do have these particular settings over here. And as you can see now, if I want to take only the audio track, okay, I can just view the audio tracks right around from here. Okay, and I can just take the sizes. So now this one is 10x. Okay, so this is quite fine. If I just take 1x, okay, so now you guys can see the sound over here. Okay, so if I just take 10x, and now this is quite uh, faster, or you guys can see the waves are quite more visible. Okay, so I just put 10x whilst I work with the audio waves. Okay, so there are different options, multicam options. Okay, if I just directly want to go to the source, now I won't be able to see the audio frames over here. Okay, so now let's come here and let's just play this video. Okay, as you guys can see, so this is how it will actually end. And here you guys can see in my audio meter, it is also showing me the audio level, which I will show you and readjust in our later classes. So hope you guys have understood about the edit page in detail over here. So hope to see you all in the next chapter. Okay, and keep on learning this one and keep on practicing this DaVinci Resolve, whatever I'm teaching. Okay, because once you explore more, you will be able to learn more. Okay, and before ending this particular class, as I've already told you, in each of the frame, not only this one. Okay, suppose sometimes I can just place this thing around over here. Okay, like I can just bring this thing somewhat like this, and now I am not able to change, or I have just messed up this particular place. Okay, in that case, what I can do is if I just want to reset this particular page again back the same way it was, what I can do is I can just come here in my workspace, and I need to go down just below the layout preset option. I do have the reset UI layout. So here, as you guys can see, it have just resetted the layout for me, from where I will be able to view my page better. Okay, so see you all in the next chapter. Till then, take care and goodbye everyone.